have a project for you to do today with somebody that you're taking care of, an older adult or somebody with dementia. And it's an activity that will work with many different stages of dementia because there are different things that people can do. What we're going to be making is a pumpkin centerpiece right here. And the pumpkin is covered with succulents. So it's something that can last a long time. It's a nice arrangement because it's not going to die in just a couple of days. So I've gathered some succulents from around my neighborhood, and I've also gathered some from my garden. I purchased some as well, so I can show you how to work with those. I live in a coastal town, so I also have some seaweed that is from my area that's interesting to me. You'll probably have things in your area that are more indigenous for you, like pine cones or seed pods or things like that. I'll show you some seed pods that I picked today out of my garden. I like these, I think they're really pretty, but one thing you need to keep in mind is if you're working with somebody with dementia, you probably know better than I do whether or not this is something that's going to look like a snack to them. So you don't want to use anything that's going to present a choking hazard or that they'll be eating and you don't want them to eat it. The important point on these activities is that you want the person who's making them to feel like they are having a purpose. It's important to have a job. So you might say, you know, your daughter's coming over tomorrow. Wouldn't it be nice to give her this pumpkin centerpiece to take home to her house? You can use a little pumpkin like I've done. You can make a lot of them, which is a fun thing for somebody who's particularly productive and is looking for a lot of projects. But a larger pumpkin like one of these Cinderella pumpkins is nice to work on because it has a larger surface. The point of this activity is not for you to do it and the person you're taking care of to watch. That's not the point. The point is to give them something to do. So I recommend using a white glue. It'll take longer to dry, and if you want to get really ornate where you want to have some tall sculpture, you can do that, and you can use the hot glue gun. But that's something you'll want to do yourself, not pass on to the elder that you're taking care of, unless they really have the agility and the awareness to be able to handle a hot glue gun safely. Hot glue burns. So I'm going to start with some white glue. And I'm just going to put it all over the surface of the pumpkin. And the person you're helping might need help with this. Again, you want them to do the work themselves, but if you're using a hot glue gun, they have a very limited time frame in which to work. The glue sets up very quickly. The white glue has a bit more of a window for them to work with. You just want to use some moss. I picked this up at a local nursery. You can pick it up at a craft store. And they come in different size bags, so pick something that you think you'll actually use and not more than that. And the person can just put this on. One thing I've noticed with older women with dementia is that they don't like their hands to get dirty. It's a problem for them. It bothers them a lot, and they tend to focus on that rather than on the activity. So you may want to use gloves for their hands, just dish gloves, or if you happen to have surgical gloves around because you use them every day for your different jobs that you're taking care of them, you can just give them a pair of those gloves. It keeps their hands cleaner and it makes it a more enjoyable activity for them. So you can just press the moss on there. They can do that too. That's something they can do. And set aside a time when you're not in a rush to do this activity. And then they can start picking things. So from the different succulents that you have and the different dried things that you have, ask them to pick something. Again, you're just trying to get them involved. You're trying to give them some mental stimulation. So you can put it directly onto the moss like that. Or you can put it directly onto the tip of your succulent. And it doesn't hurt the succulent. In fact, these may actually root while you have them on the pumpkin, so that'll make a nice thing for later. You can always try and remove them from this, or I was thinking what we could do is cut off the top of the pumpkin and just put the whole thing into the ground. If you start with a freshly potted plant, this is something I picked up at the nursery today. I really like the color of it. You want to make sure you remove the dirt from that because we're just trying to get the roots in here. We're not trying to make a mess. Every time you water it, if you leave the soil on, you'll get dirt everywhere. So try and remove as much as you can. You can use that out in your garden or for another project at another time that you want to put away. I'll have a lot of gardening projects coming up. And put down a lot of glue for that. Again, the glue is not going to hurt the plant. It's water-based. It's not going to harm the plant. And I'd like to use some of my seaweed that I collected from the beach over the summer. So again, we're not using hot glue, so it's going to take a little longer to dry. So you'll want to remove this. Once you're done, set it aside somewhere where it has a chance to dry. And just use different seeds and berries from your yard, or you can buy them if you want. There's all kinds of things in craft stores this time of year. All right, I like it. So once a week, you want to just take a spray bottle and mist it lightly, or if you don't have one, you just pour a little water lightly on here. The nice thing about these Cinderella pumpkins is that they have a nice divot in them on the top, so they'll hold water a little bit better than a regular round pumpkin would. These pumpkins also have a low spot in them where they'll hold a little bit of water. But you can keep these going for a long time if you water them. And like I said, I think the thing to do, and I'll get back to you on this and make notes on the video screen below, we can cut off the top, just put the whole thing down in the garden, and I think it will root, and the top will add as a little bit of fertilizer to help it to grow. You can think of any number of people that the person might want to make these for. If you're headed to a doctor's appointment this week, they can make one for the doctor, they can make one for a neighbor, they can put them all over the house. They're really pretty and very festive for fall. Now, once you've done as many as you want to do, the next step is cleanup. And one thing that I have found that older women with dementia really, really enjoy doing is cleaning up. It gives them a purpose. So you can hand them a basket to put all of these leftover items in, and then you can give them a towel to clean off, a damp cloth. Something must be very soothing about it for them, but they do enjoy it. So let them help you clean up. It may take a little bit longer, and that's what these activities are all about. You're trying to make them feel like they're making their home or their neighbor's home a little bit more beautiful, and you're also trying to give them a job. Everyone wants to feel needed. I would love to see any of these that you complete with anybody. I would love it if you would post them for me on the YouTube page, or you can send them to my email address at sheacompanions@gmail.com. It would be so neat to see the creative things that you come up with. I'm Kim Shea for Shea Companions. Thanks for watching.